Hey guys, it's Moose here, and welcome back to episode 3 of my speed build series. So the way this house came about, I'm kind of fiddling around with some ideas right here, was my sister came into my room and was like talking to me about her art project or honor society inductions or something like that. And I was like, "Hey Anna, what should I build?" She was like, "Build a tree house." And I was like, I can't build a treehouse. But that sort of got me going, and I decided to build a sort of raised styled house. I know you can build tree houses in this game. I've seen it before. I'm jealous. But so I decided to build a raised pillared house. There's a lot of them around my area because I live in the south, close to the water, and maybe not exactly looking like this, and definitely not in the middle of suburbia where this house is built, but maybe this person, sort of, whoever lived in this house, wanted a raised house because they used to live in, near the water or something and wanted something to remind them. It doesn't stay a one-story house. It becomes a two-story house pretty quickly. I also made it a slate roof house. I know a lot of people don't like slate roofed houses, and mostly because when it rains, it makes that noise that no one likes. I like that noise. Just sort of the patter of sort of the rain on the metal. It's relaxing. A lot of windows in this house. I really like the windows in this game, although I need to get a few more expansion packs to help me out with that. I like the balconies around the outside. It gives sort of the feel. I never put a door onto the outside balcony on the second floor. I'm going to fix that before I upload it. Oh, I already uploaded it. God dang it. Oh well. So here I'm going in on. I thought the underside of the house was a little bit bare. I wasn't going to leave it alone, so I decided to cover the entire thing in plants. Yeah. I have a problem, so I'm going to speed up the planting part a little bit. I think there's about 30 seconds of me just placing flowers down underneath this building. And 30 times 16, one moment, let me do that calculation. I have my phone right here. Where's my calculator? I should have had this. Hurry up. 30 times 16, 480 seconds divided by 60. 8 minutes. 8 minutes of me placing flowers. So here's about where I just start working on trim as well as the balcony areas. And then I get to work on this little grassy area right next, like right in front of the house. I wanted to put a little pond thing, but it just didn't really fit the style of the house. And then I went back in. I was like, oh, I'm going to do some more terrain painting and then add in sort of little walkway around a pond. It never really worked out. The water feature idea never really set well with me. It just didn't fit the house, and then I had that whole issue with the terrain painting, and I couldn't get it back, so I ended up just going back over and making it look different than the outside, which that's gonna irk me now that I realized that I did that. And I put a bench back there, but I end up completely removing this. I didn't like how it looked. So I went back. I don't know when I go back and change it. I think that stays there for a little while. And then I tried the idea of some plants going down the walkway to the staircase as well as that little back area, and it didn't sit well with me. And when something doesn't sit well with me, I usually, well, delete it. Where am I? I was trying to see if flower boxes would work. I didn't really like the idea of them. Yeah, see, I go back in, and then I just cover all of that and try to roughly fix the grass, although I don't really that well. And then I added a nice little tree and try to build a little pathway around it. A friend of mine was talking about my first build, and I don't know, that tree just reminded me of it. And when he said what's it called? The pink tree above the about the pool would be such a terrible idea. But then I was just like, but what about the pool guys? You're giving the pool guys a job, I guess. You have to clean that thing out every other week. But what I ended up doing was just putting a nice little statue underneath the tree. I thought that was really pretty looking. And I think here's where I start on the interior. Yeah, so I decided to put the kitchen in the back corner. Just sort of make the whole bottom floor just sort of this nice, really open design, except for the bathroom, of course, because the bathroom always has to be secluded, or else you can't really use it when you have multiple Sims in your house. Sorry if I'm quiet. It's really late. I mean, compared to other people, it's like not, but it's 11 o'clock at night. And so I decided to use that sort of tile floor. And then I was trying to pick out a flooring for the rest of the house, and I fell in love with that floor. I love how that floor looks in the build. I used it for the second floor as well. But there is a whole fiasco with this. I deleted the floor right there. There's this whole fiasco with the kitchen, to be honest. I tried a few different designs, and I ended up going with a smaller sort of kitchen with a, what's it called? Dining table. A dining table on the side. And I thought it ended up looking really, really nice. Here's me just kind of messing around with different ideas for fridge placement as well as the size along that kitchen. And I just sort of realized I'm not going to have enough space to put a full island, a full 2x3 island as well as a dining table. So I ended up removing the island completely. I can't really remember. There is something on my screen. What is that? Oh. Ant. I don't know. Where did you come from? But I think I ended up completely removing the island and putting a nice larger table in. I want to say, am I right? I think there was a lot of things that happened in this video that I really liked. One thing that I figured out how to use is move objects. Yep, there we go. There's the realization that I'm not going to have enough room. So then I start doing the table that way, and then I went, no, it's not going to work. And then I realized, wait a minute, I can just put that up against the wall and get some really nice chairs. I went through almost every chair trying to figure out which one I like. And then maybe not for that table. And then that's where I figured out how to use the bracket keys. And I just sort of went, oh, I can do that. And I just started freaking out like, oh my god, everything can be bigger. I'm not really the one for using cheats in this game. Yep, there it is. There we go. Oh, I was just like, this is great. This is fantastic. I am in love with this cheat. And I was. I really am. I think it's such a nice little thing that you can do, make things bigger or smaller. But I didn't really I used a lot of it for pictures, not really for anything else. I think I'd go outside and mess around with the statue for a little bit to see if it would look good if I used a bigger statue. It didn't end up working out. I like how the statue is right now. And then I end up painting the walls, because I always end up doing that last. I always forget about that until like halfway through. I finally added the lighting in. I'm doing a lot of things backwards. There we go. And then I try to put that in. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then I realize it goes outside as well. So I just went back to the darker little shelving units, as well as putting in the shelving units above the table. Just to, if you want to put your salt and pepper, maybe a little potted plant on there. I finally decorated the kitchen. And I didn't put in a sink. Why do I always forget things? I always forget things in my builds. I remember one time yeah, there we go, there's the statue. I remember one time I ended up building a house and thinking, it was a really good house. I really liked it. And then at the end of it, it was on actual Sims, not like infinite money. It was a starter home. It was really nice. And then I realized I forgot to buy a toilet. and I had no money, and I refused to use the motherload cheat. So that was not fun. I had to bring my sim to places to go to the bathroom. Which I mean, it worked out. It worked out okay. I ended up buying a toilet after a few days of going to the park every day to go to the bathroom. But yeah, it ended up working fine. Here's where I put in the bathroom. I like this nice long sort of stretched area that I put the seating area in. I didn't want to take away from the windows because I think the windows are really pretty. I love floor to ceiling windows. I think they give a room a really nice feel to it. I think it brightens up the room without necessarily needing a lot of not natural light. At night, of course, it just sort of opens up your house. I think I added drapes to it, so you don't really get that. I've noticed a lot of people forget drapes when they build houses. Understandably, I mean, they're not necessarily needed, but frankly, a lot of this isn't necessarily needed. But I was like, no, I'm going to put drapes in this house. So I went around and I put drapes on every single window. All the same kind, all the same type, and my throat is parched. But it ended up looking good, and that went the wrong way for some reason. Ha, I'm going to cough. 1 second. Okay, there we go. So I end up putting this whole bathroom together, and then, well, I guess there's a sink in the bathroom, so it doesn't really matter. It's still playable. And then I forgot about that back wall. Because it's an inside wall, and if you do, like, you know, that, you can see the paintings on the back. But I think it turned out okay. I end up messing around with the, you know, grower tool or whatever it's called, and I couldn't figure out a painting that I wanted there because it kept clipping onto the headboard. I wanted to use that sloth picture, but I never could. And then I just end up with that big picture of a chicken. That would be my house. I would have a big picture of a chicken. I was talking to my boyfriend, and we were talking. I was like, would it be okay if I put a clown picture above our headboard? And he just sort of went, no. And it just, I don't know, I just sort of died. I wouldn't really put a clown picture above my headboard either, especially the sad clown picture that's already in the game. Oh yeah, here's another area where I used the Move Objects tool. I figured out that I could just make the carpet bigger and just place it there, and I thought that looked really nice. It's just sort of a runner carpet. That chair did a little twirl right there. I wanted a nice little area right next to the staircase. I thought it looked really nice, and it kind of used the space well. Because I don't like the big empty spaces in houses. I see a lot of mansions with these huge, huge rooms, and they feel awkward. Like an empty ballroom would feel kind of awkward, you just standing there. It's flat, it echoes, it just doesn't look good to me. So I end up just putting some paintings on that wall. I fill that space right there by adding a little nice piano. When I get older, if I own a house, I will absolutely have a piano in my house. I don't care how much it costs. I want a piano, or at least a keyboard. I love to play the piano. It calms me down. It brings me into the moment, just like cooking does. Just like this game does, actually. It makes me think. Or not think in some cases. Just sort of screwing around. Oh, I missed. No, I delete that in the end. So up here, I end up making the master bedroom as well as the master bath, and a nice little den area like I did in episode 1. Just sort of that second floor den. Not really a TV room, but just sort of a place for your Sims to relax and calm down from their day or read a book. I also put an office in there. I put a little computer and a nice desk and paintings again. So I wanted to add this little area next to the staircase so that the Sims could get around, but I ended up like switching it and making it smaller again because it just bothered me. I needed the bed in front of the window. I needed it in front of the window. There are no beds that are 3 across, which kind of bothers me. I don't know why you would need a 3 across bed, but then I put a 3 cross window in this house. It caused me so many problems because this house isn't even. It ends with a 1 in the middle. So you had to use a 1, like a 1 across window on the sides, like the big floor to ceiling windows, and then a 3 cross window in the middle to get that symmetry that I wanted. And then I realized that I couldn't get a 3 by 3 bed, and that just sort of made me really sad. So I ended up I think here's where I put in the desk. Yep. Just a nice computer, lights and everything. I keep forgetting about lights because when I would play alone, I didn't really go do lights that much. I would just do the ceiling lights and just have them sort of floating there and not really care about it that much. But when I started building not just to play, just like to make stuff look pretty, I started realizing that they were really ugly and they were eyesores. So I try really, really hard to use the least amount of ceiling lights as I possibly can. They look good in screenshots because you can see the ceiling. But when you're playing like this, when you can look over kind of like a god looking into a house, I don't know what kind of god would be looking into a house like this, but you just see the circles and it gets to me. So I didn't end up I put a wardrobe in, but I kind of liked the idea of having, it's a personal house. You're not really going to go upstairs that much. It's going to, your entertaining is going to be downstairs. So having that sort of hallway as a closet to not showcase necessarily, but put up your fancier clothing and I don't know. It just ended up looking really nice to me. And here we go into the bedroom. As you can see, it doesn't do the 3x3 very well. So I end up putting in a nice little table and lamp against the bed in that nice little cubby corner. And over here, I kind of decided I wanted to put like a nice little reading nook, kind of, a nice bookshelf, and then right next to the bed having, a comfy leather chair and a table. I ended up putting some books on the table and just calling that a day. And here's where I sort of place in the nice pictures. I am using there was the clown if you saw it for a second. And I end up putting that picture right there and just sort of filling the room up with nice paintings and stuff. There it is, that galaxy painting. Perfect. I would like that in my room. And then just add that in, and I think that's it. And then I move on to the bathroom, which is the last room in the house that I need to build. I feel like there's 2 bathrooms that you do in Sims. It's the tub bathrooms and the shower bathrooms. I've done both of them before, and I always end up picking one or the other usually. Bathrooms are kind of my exception when it comes to ceiling lights, because I just sort of add the ceiling lights, and same for kitchens. But in this one, I kind of added a nice little fancy wall decoration light, which I ended up really, really liking. I think it's one of my favorite screenshots that I took of this house. It took me forever to pick out a painting. I realized you couldn't expand mirrors, which really, really bothered me. We're coming up to the screenshots right now. It took me a little while to figure out what I wanted for a paint, like a wall on that one, and then I ended up sticking with that one. And I think the last thing that I put in is a toilet. Yeah, I nearly forgot the toilet again. And then I just sort of decorate the bathroom a little bit and, try to figure out what painting I want right there. And I think I end up sticking with that one right there and a smaller one. Yeah, there's that. And that's it. So we're coming on the screenshots right now. So this is the nice little outdoors area. I really liked how the statue looked and how it looked in the sunset and everything. I thought it was just really, really nice. Here is a nice view of sort of the flowers underneath the house. I sort of imagine just sort of like a lucky case of weeds end up growing just a bunch of flowers. I think that would be really nice. Here is sort of the main entertainment area / kitchen. I think it would be really cool to have a bunch of Sims over and just play piano as you're eating dinner and talking about life or whatever. And here is the living room. Just a nice little living room. TV, chairs, couches, you know, the whole shebang. Here's that nice little chair and seating area right in front of the staircase in the living room. Just, I would find it really interesting to sit there and relax after a long day. Here is the upstairs den slash office. Just a really nice little room overall. I love the wall color on that one. Here is another view of it so you can see the office a little bit better. I put computers on the little coffee table. I don't know why. Here's a nice view of just a view from the bed in the bedroom upstairs. I didn't get that 3-pane window in there. I was sad about that. Here's one of my favorite screenshots of just the bathroom and the light fixtures on the wall. I thought it was really nice. I would like that bathroom. I like the big ceramic tubs. And here is the first floor, just of the flowers in the staircase. I thought it looked really nice. Here is the actual first floor with the, piano, kitchen, living room, and bathroom. Here's the second floor. With the bedroom, the bathroom, and the office slash den area. And this is the final screenshot of the house overall. So I had a great time doing this build. I think it took about 2 hours, but it's been Moose, and I'll see you in another video.